Hello. Yes, I'm sitting out at my barn. You'll probably hear chickens, actually see chickens, um, pigs, ducks, maybe a few other things. But believe it or not, this is probably going to be a lot more quiet than in my house, which is where the four kids currently are. So um, that's why I'm here. But I was talking to someone on Facebook, and um, something came up about how many people think we're in the tribulation or the great tribulation now. I always want to say the great tribulation because of how much confusion there is when people say tribulation. We go through tribulation as Christians, but the great tribulation is something different. So that's why I think it's important to always try to stress the great tribulation. Uh, but one thing that kind of came to mind. Well, first I want to say I listen to a lot of guys like Tom Hughes, Billy Crone, J.D. Farag, Dr. Barry Awe, and um, I've never heard this before, but I don't pretend to be someone super knowledgeable or anything like that on those guys' level at all. I don't even want to come across as something like that, but I've never heard them say this. If they have, full credit to them. They probably have, and I've missed it or whatever. But uh, one of the problems with an anti pre-tribulation mentality could possibly be part of the Great Deception. And I'm not stuck on this or anything, but bear with me for a second because if you don't believe in being taken first and you believe we're going to go through the Great Tribulation, well, some of the things we've seen kind of mimic that a little bit. We've seen pestilence, we've seen economic downturn, we saw war. Uh, Only thing you're missing as far as the horsemen go is the leader showing up, so the white horse. So if these people think we've already started, maybe the first couple of years of the tribulation, then say we get taken out of here soon, and then the white horse rides for real, since it comes first. They would think that maybe the horsemen just came out of order, and they've already seen maybe the first 3.5 years of the tribulation, which would be perfect timing for the Antichrist to show up. And they would think they were in, 3.5 years later. And then they would think they were at the end of the 7-year tribulation that they believe they're going to go through. So they would think that would be Christ coming at his second advent. It would just line up as if this is maybe Satan doing what he does and mimicking God to some degree, or trying to mimic God, and having basically a false great tribulation start a little early. You've even got your fake mark of the beast, if you know what I'm talking about. A lot of people think that something that had come out a few years ago was the mark of the beast. It's not, but uh, people could be fooled into thinking that and still call themselves Christians all the way through uh, their false tribulation, and then end up falling for the lie. What if this is the great delusion? The deception. I'm not stuck on it. I do think there could be other things that come and show up with that as part of the delusion, but um, there certainly is a big hatred and animosity towards the rapture of the church now, and I think it's part of. I think it's kind of satanic. I really do. Just the anger and the frustration in the people that just really want to disprove the rapture of the church kind of shows where their mentality is coming from, and it's scary. It's scary because it could line up into part of that delusion. So, just something I had thought of. I don't really know if someone else is already teaching this, and if they are, that's full credit to them. Just something that kind of lined up with what we were talking about, and something I was thinking about that I thought maybe we should talk about.